Hey guys, I share.
All you got to do is start changing the way you think. Gratitude erases negativity.
Hey guys, I share Ray Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there. Hey, today I want to talk about epic empowerment again, right? I actually came out with an initial video on this as soon as they released the epic empowerment into the game. You guys know me. I'm a huge fan of this move by Plarium. I called for it a long time ago, but they finally came through. And now I am beating the drum for the rare empowerment. I'm serious. I think rare empowerment should be a thing inside the game, just for the same reasons that epic empowerment was a great thing inside the game. It does act as a great kind of, I don't know, catch-up mechanism for, frankly, rarities that have fallen below the status quo in Raid Shadow Legends because of power creep and because Plarium has simply not shown the proclivity to go in there and buff epics and rares that actually need them. There's hundreds, dozens, hundreds of those champions out there.
Yes, indeed.
But I get a lot of comments like this from yesterday's video. Chris, could you do a list on which epics not to empower if you haven't already? This is one of just, I was gonna say like a dozen, but maybe closer to 50 now comments that I have asking for which epics I would recommend players not empower. Well, frank you guys, I'm making this video instead of making that video because I really am of the opinion, because of 5 quick factors that I'll run down for you guys, that you should basically just empower your epics. You know what I'm saying?
That son of a bitch straight into bankruptcy.
Now, I looked out there. There's actually a bunch of YouTube videos talking about which epics that other creators advise you guys not to empower. And if you're interested in that kind of content, it's out there. But I've actually evolved my opinion on this a little bit. Now, the big caveat, and you guys know this already, right? You don't want to be empowering your speed tune champions because the speeds might change. You don't want to be empowering your faction guardians. You know, you want to make sure they're all full epics before you go ahead and use those champions to empower. But of course, you know your account best. And I think outside of that, you know, it's going to depend on the player on the account whether they don't want to empower a champion. I'll give you like the obvious champions that you might want to pause and reconsider before empowering. I think they're, again, pretty obvious. Inquisitor Shamil, because you can use him on 3 Hydra clan boss teams. Obviously, the double man-eater strategy that has dipped a little bit in terms of its use rate, but you know, like obviously a man-eater. If you're going to build 2 for an unkillable team, you're going to need 2. You're not going to want to empower them. Newsflash to you guys, right? We also have, you know, the enemy max HP champions. Maybe you need yourself 2, maybe 3 Royal Guards to maximize your damage against the spider. Same thing on Husk, right? Same thing. And of course, probably the most popular dupe to build out of all the epics in the game is good old Geomancer. You can use multiple Geomancers. You can use multiple different builds on Geomancer as well. So Husk, Royal Guard, Inquisitor, you know, I named a few of the things that you might want to consider, you know, before empowering those champions. But I'm going to advise you guys, to empower everybody. You know, I would not really hesitate that much. I mean, listen, if you're using a dupe and you already have them built and you already put resources into them, sure, don't empower. But everybody else, you're getting stats. You're getting a lot of really nice stats. The cool thing about empowerment is it really lowers the threshold of the god tier gear that you're gonna need to complete any specific content in the game. So even some really amazing epics, for example, like a Godseeker Aniri, a Deacon Armstrong, for example, an Ugo, I could go on and on. But like, yeah, empower them. Empower them. Get stats. Empower them. Why? How do I feel this way? Okay, I'll give you the reasons. Really quick rundown for you guys. Reason number 1 is going to be the dungeon boss nerfs. Okay, dungeon boss nerfs. I do feel like it's made things a little bit easier, right? So having to build dupes might not be as necessary as it was when you had to rely on a Godseeker Aniri team in Sand Devil, for example, right? Clan boss evolving. Mainly because of one individual, right? Good old Wixwell. After Wixwell was added to the game, he really did, on my account, I can speak from, I know it doesn't encompass all accounts, but I stopped having to have a need to be like, oh, wait. Demitha, I need to save extra copies just in case. Man-eaters, I need 2 or maybe 3 just in case, right? I don't need to think like that anymore. I've got Wixwell. Clan boss, simplified. Number 3 is Hydra has evolved over the years, right? A lot of even me, I don't run triple Inquisitor Shamils like I used to. You know, we get more champions, there's power creep in the game, and you get, you know, you just pick up new options along the way, and they release new awesome Hydra Clan Boss champions along the way too. Again, I'm not saying that applies to everybody, but you know your account, you know if you need 2 Inquisitor Shamils, right? But the big one, the big factor here, right? And I said there was 5, I guess there's 4. But you liar! This is the big one. One of the big reasons I used to advise you guys build or save 2 Geos, for example, right, is Geomancer. I have 2 right here, and you can see I don't really, well, I don't have one geared out right now, right? But, you know, just listen to my point. They added this, I don't know if you guys are using this, but they add this quality of life feature now, and I really think it's a game changer. It's a preset manager. And if you haven't taken full advantage, you can see I haven't even, right? I do have a preset on Geo right now and Reflex, but globals, I only have 7 set up on my account, but I'm getting there, and I already see, even with 7 global resets, I already see the immense value in terms of time savings. Sure, it's still going to cost you the silver unless you have the coupon, the 24-hour coupon, which I do think is another great addition to the game. But for me now, I mean, I no longer have to worry about building dupes just to go through, just not to go through the aggravation of having to find all those artifacts. I just simply have a few different builds for a specific champion, and I just toggle between whatever build I want. Again, I think you should strategically try to align that with your gear removal, you know, free gear removals. But still, I mean, now that they added the gear swap, essentially, or the presets in the game, it took maybe one of the last remaining reasons for me personally to recommend people hesitate before empowering champions. Champion empowerment, getting all those stats is huge. I personally would take advantage of it, right? Even on crappy champions that I don't necessarily even use at all on my account. I'm empowering all of them, right? I mean, why wouldn't you want to get all those juicy stats, right? They're really good. And as I said earlier, it's going to help you tremendously in terms of clearing the content that, you know, previously you may have not been able to. I don't know. By the way, quality of life wise, I wish they would get, I hate this screen. Because then you have to go to your collection, they kick you out of the tavern and out of the Guardian Ring or whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to show you a champion that I had ready to be fully empowered. Actually, I could just show you a +4, right? And we can take a look at the stats really quickly. I don't need to tell you guys, I think this is probably obvious, but who do I have? I just did a video on good old Gala Longbraids, who I do have +4. And again, I mean, look at all these stats. Empowerment. I'm getting 7,000 HP, 500 attack. Well, you guys can see the numbers, speed. And I think the counting stats, especially resistance and accuracy and speed, that's so big. That's so huge. Granted, this is +4, and I acknowledge that. But man, if you can aim towards this, I think this is going to help you out a lot more than saving dupes of a Whisper or whatever because you like her. If you like her, empower her. So, hey, I don't know if this video even had to be, well, I guess it did have to be made. Because as I said at the top, the gate here, a lot of people asking for a comprehensive list of who you shouldn't empower. My rule of thumb is, if you haven't thought about building a dupe and you've been playing this game for years and you haven't built a dupe up until now, right? Probably empower. Probably just on a limb, just power them, right? If you are a brand new player, faction guardians, like we said earlier, fill up your faction guardians, and then you'll be more educated, not on the game, not just on the game, but also on your account and what you need and where you need it. And you'll have that, probably that acumen to decide, okay, I do want to empower here. So anyway, making this video kind of in response to all the requests for champions I wouldn't empower. I went through the list, I guess it's a short list, of champions that I would pause and see if I had a need for 3 Hydra teams. Heck, if you need, we mentioned Ugo earlier, if you really need 3 Ugos for all of your Hydra teams, then sure, go for it. But I would suspect most of you guys aren't going to be in that position, or aren't going to find yourself in that position unless you've already dealt with it and you've already built them. Anyway, guys, those are my quick thoughts on champion empowerment and who I wouldn't, what champions I wouldn't empower, which is basically depends. Guys, much love. Thanks for watching until the end of the video. Let me know how you feel about epic empowerment and what your strategy has been, you know, in terms of your dupes. Have you empowered somebody then regretted it? Do you disagree with my philosophy here on empowerment? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.